There's a hoard for you. East Anglian hoard, very nice. Northumbrian hoard, sorry. And up here you've got an English sword, 9th century. Two, they're both from 9th century. Bit battered. Another, this must be another hoard. A brooch with a hoard of silver pennies from the year 1000. So it was a brooch, and that was folded over into like a purse, and it had all these inside.
Oh, wow.
What a find, what a find.
Yeah.
They're very nice. Some brooches from the 9th century look, but they've got little animals on. You can see the third one on there on the right. It's got a lovely dragon on there. Oh, I love things like this. So this is like when they were doing cooking and loom weights, loom, you know, sewing and things. And they've got one here, look. These are actual loom weights, 64 of them made out of clay from 600 AD. 1,400 year old sewing. That's amazing. Got a burial over here. Reconstruction of a burial, putting his offerings to the gods inside with him. What are you just awing at? Did you see something special over there?
But then it turned out to be a replica.
We don't do replicas, do we? Very nice replica, but we don't do them. So we're just talking about Sutton Hoo, and these are all replicas. Everything in there and everything in there is replicas of what was found in the Sutton Hoo hoard. But I know for a fact there's better things than this found in it. Look, they were like big, I think they had like big bracelets and crowny type things all made out of gold. But we'll find out about that one day. Probably when we'll go to Sutton Hoo. We'll have to go to Sutton Hoo next week. One thing which Mazzy said off camera. I'm not embarrassing you. The loom weights, yeah? Because I wonder if that's where the invention donuts came from, because they look like donuts. Indeed they do, indeed they do. Some of these tiny coins are absolutely gorgeous. That one's French. Number 12. An Istanbul coin. Now you really like this ship, don't you?
I love it all.
I'm not keen, and I'll tell you why. It's a replica of the George from the 1700s. But you know why I'm not keen on it?
Wow.
Because if you're going to make a ship that big, it might as well be a proper sized ship, hasn't it?
It's huge.
That is the biggest model of a ship I've ever seen, without being a ship. In fact, you could fit 3 small children on there and sail away in it. It's that big. I wasn't sure how this worked, but I think I can work it out now. Put your chest against that, your hands through there, your legs through there, and you get whipped. And that's a real one, taken out of Ipswich prison. Wow. So this is a ducking chair. We've seen these before, often associated with witchcraft, ducking witches. But apparently it's nothing to do with witches. These were used on ladies who were bad neighbours. If you're a bad neighbour and you owned no property, apparently they'd duck you in this as punishment. It's saying up here, it says Scoll's Thu, also known as a cooking or ducking chair. But you can read about it there. But that's all new to me.
Oh look, cute little lawnmower. Is it?
Well, it's a model of one. I don't know if it's real. I'll tell you what I think it is.
What?
And I might be wrong. A lot of salesmen used to go around places with models because they couldn't carry the proper thing around with them. And it might be a model, you know, a salesman's tool. But why did you say you like things like this?
I don't know, it's so intricate.
Do you mean trains or engineering in general?
I don't know, it's just intricate and it works.
It's just, you've got these trains here.
They're lovely.
And there is actually somewhere not far from here, which is like a model train place, and you can actually sit on them, and they're that size. But it's never really interested me, isn't this model thing. I like the proper, tiny, miniature railway models, because I used to be right into that. But this size, I've never been into. But that is a beauty. I do like that. So you've got all truncheons and guns and knives in here. Number 11 there is actually a walking cane, which is an air pistol as well. Shoots out little air pellets. And the one behind it, number 12, the wooden cane in the middle, is a shotgun. A shotgun cane. Mazzy just asked me what this is, and it is really quite special. This big thing at the back, it's got little mini cannons on the top. And this was made by the prisoners of Ipswich Jail for the coronation of Queen Victoria. They were allowed to make this so that they could all make a big bang when she came to see them.
Oh, wow.
That is fantastic, but why would she want to go and see all these bad people on the coronation? We're in the stuffed animal section now. Doesn't really do anything for me, this stuff, to be honest with you. Some of them are cool. But I'm not going to be doing much filming in here. You've got a dolphin skull there, that's quite beautiful. Look at his teeth. Them few are quite cool. You've got a golden eagle there. And an osprey. Didn't realise ospreys were that big. But you just says, and we both agree really, this isn't really our kind of thing, is it? Why don't you like it?
Just like going on seeing stuffed birdies everywhere and animals.
Says the woman who's got her old stuffed tortoise at home called George.
Yeah, but...
No buts. No buts, it's exactly the same, isn't it? It's exactly the same. So there's a beautiful, beautiful seal there. I didn't realise they were so big. That's big, that's about 8 foot long. Two other things I want to show you in here. Got this snake skin, which is huge. Look, it's wrapped around there. And that's from the same kind as the biggest in the world. It says here, the python skin, 26 feet, some of them grow to. But I wanted to point this out because I showed one in the last video. And on my Instagram pictures and on Facebook, I was calling it a swordfish. It's not, it's a sawfish. So thanks for correcting me, all you people. There you go, a sawfish. I was just told not to mention that Mazzy had some stuffed crocodiles. Taxidermied crocodiles from Florida when she went. There's crocodile skin. I've never seen a crocodile skin before. That is a very, very old shoe. Look at that. From 1680. I haven't thought about one of them in many, many years. But I remember I had a few. You know, the electronic organisers? Did you ever have one of them? You ever seen them?
Yeah.
Yeah? Just don't see them anymore. I think they were like replacing the Filofax, weren't they? But it just never happened. Obviously, Mazzy's just found this. She finds everything, which is a bit rude.
Oh, no, I did not.
Alright, you didn't. It's only a replica though. But that's a replica of a Neolithic one. So there was a Mesolithic. So there was something like that 4,000 years ago. And that's a copy of it. Recently, we said we'd found the best crotal bell we'd ever seen. But I'd say that one's better. But there's no writing on it at all. And you've got some kind of deed document there, but I don't know anything about it. Some coins there, a gold coin, the end of a sword and a beautiful spur there. These are all, we're going back to like the 13th century. Yeah, I'm struggling to find out what some of these things are, really. You've got little bits up here, but these shoes here and these keys must date, looking at this, from about 1500. They're old shoes. The thing I do like about in here is if you start at that end, it starts with like Stone Age, comes up here, goes through the years. We're now 1300 to 1485, and it just goes on and on and on all the way around up to modern day, which I think is a really good idea. We still haven't gone downstairs. That looks unbelievable. You've got a giraffe and a woolly mammoth down there. Look at the decorations on some of these. Now that is from 1350 to 1450 and probably represents a man who had 2 wives. That's, you know, that's what they did in them days. They're still doing a lot of places, but, you know, would you want one girlfriend who looks like that? Or 2 ugly girls who look like that? I'm happy with what I've got. I just want to show you exactly how big this museum is. Now, we didn't even think there was a room here. It was like an Egyptian room. So you come in, yeah, and there's a big room, and then it goes round, up a corridor, more things to see. It's 10 times bigger than it looks from the outside. Keep going. All up there and back out the other side. How big is this place? That is the reason I'm glad I'm not one of these Egyptian or Zulu type warrior type things, because there's no way you'd get me wearing that.
Good, it's a girl's bikini.
Is it? Is it really?
I reckon.
No, that's a man. That's what a man would wear.
No.
Someone tell us, is that for a man or is that for a woman? I don't know. What are you looking at? Oh, you've seen that, haven't you?
No.
Yeah, the girl with the big boobies.
Rather freaky.
These costumes are just getting a bit weird now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, I've got a small head, but it's still bigger than that. And look at this guy here. I've no idea what's going on with him.
Look at how they dress the kids.
But he's got, like, breasts. They keep warm. I do like them. Little men. Little statues. It looks like a little chess set, doesn't it?
Yeah, oh that's... Oh yeah.
No, I just said that. It isn't from a chess set. It's got a shoe there. In fact, 2 shoes, look. Yeah, but you just said to make them bigger. Well, why wouldn't they just have heels like anyone normal?
Because they're really big. Don't know.
It's very strange. I'm thinking it's maybe to go through like swampland. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably completely wrong.
Yeah, I think you are.
But all this is different African tribes and all weird stuff they get up to. You've got all the machetes and things over here. But it's just too big. There's just far too much to show you in this section. I'm agreeing with you. Everything in here is absolutely amazing. I do wish there'd be more signs, like for this section, for example. You know, I've got a sign up here, it's telling you about a Hindu altar, but I'd like to know about the individual pieces as well. But it is, every single cabinet is from different tribes, different religions. Samurais. Got some samurai swords down there, look.
Okay.
And I've always liked these. Worth a lot of money. I've seen some of them sold on American storage hunters, things like that.
Would a man wear that?
A man would wear that in war, yeah.
In war?
In war. This is what the war in Japan. Samurai warriors.
Oh.
Thousands of years ago, I believe.
God, they're scary.
So this is an ancestral skull. Now the only bit which is real there is actually the teeth. The actual skull inside is real. And what they did is they tried to model his face around it. So it's I believe the outside is fake. You know, it's just what he did look like in life. but the teeth and skull are real underneath. If you want to read about it, it's number 6 there. Something to do with fishing. Mazzy's just found something really cool. This is from Alaska. I wouldn't have thought Alaska of all places, but look at this beautiful garment here. It's made out of seal intestines. And it's a cagoule, it's an anorak, it's a waterproof coat. That is fantastic.